The red dust of Kepler 442b swirled around Dr. Elena Vasquez as she knelt beside the ancient stone tablet. Her hands shook slightly as she brushed away centuries of accumulated debris. The writing was clear, carved deep into the crystalline surface, with tools that human science could barely comprehend. Earth only pretends to sleep. Elena read the words 3 times before calling her team over. The archaeological site on this distant world had already yielded incredible discoveries, but nothing like this. The tablet was part of a larger structure that the Valdari civilization had built before their mysterious disappearance 2,000 years ago. "Dr. Vasquez, you need to see this," called out Tom Miller, her research assistant. He was standing near another excavation point, his face pale. Under his helmet's visor. Elena walked over to where Tom was pointing. Another tablet, this one larger and more elaborate. The same message was carved across its surface, but in a different language entirely. The script belonged to the Asaki, a race that had vanished from the galaxy 3 millennia before the Valdari. "That's impossible," Elena whispered. The Valdari and Asaki never had contact. They lived in different sectors of the galaxy, separated by thousands of light years. Her team gathered around as Elena ran her scanner over both tablets. The readings confirmed what she feared. Both messages were authentic, carved by their respective civilizations using their own tools and methods. Yet the warning was identical. Over. The next 3 days, Elena's team uncovered 17 more tablets and stone markers. Each one bore the same warning in different extinct languages. The Nethrim had carved it into metal plates. The Helix Confederation had etched it into quantum crystals. The Zephyrians had painted it on ceramic walls using their traditional red ochre. All dead civilizations, all carrying the same message about Earth. Elena sent her preliminary report to the Galactic Archaeological Council on the 4th day. The response came within hours, marked with the highest priority classifications. Similar discoveries had been made on 43 other worlds across 3 spiral arms of the galaxy. Every single one contained warnings about Earth. Dr. Marcus Reed arrived on Kepler 442b 2 weeks later. As the galaxy's leading expert on extinct civilizations, he had been studying these mysterious warnings for months. His ship, the research vessel Pioneer, brought additional equipment and a team of linguists and Zed archaeologists. "The pattern is disturbing," Marcus told Elena as they walked through the excavation site. Every civilization that left these warnings was advanced. They had faster-than-light travel, quantum computers, weapons that could crack planets. Yet something made them so afraid of Earth that they spent their final years carving warnings for future generations. Elena showed him the latest discovery. Her team had found a hidden chamber beneath the main temple complex. Inside, crystalline data cores contained detailed records of the Valdari's final centuries. "They tried to approach Earth's solar system," Elena explained as they descended into the chamber. The records show multiple expeditions. Each one turned back before reaching the outer planets. The expedition leaders reported feeling watched, followed. Their instruments detected energy signatures that shouldn't exist. Marcus activated his translation device and began reading through the Valdari records. The entries painted a picture of growing fear and paranoia among one of the galaxy's most advanced civilizations. "Day 847 of the Earth expedition," Marcus read aloud. "We have reached the asteroid belt between the 4th and 5th planets. The feeling of being observed has grown stronger. Navigator Vex reports that our instruments are picking up quantum echoes from the 3rd planet. The signatures suggest technology far more advanced than our own." Elena pulled up another record. This one is from their final expedition, just 50 years before their civilization disappeared. "Listen to this. The 3rd planet watches us. It has always been watching. We withdraw our fleets and forbid all future contact. Earth only pretends to sleep, but something stirs in its depths. The two scientists spent hours going through the records. The Valdari had discovered something about Earth that terrified them. They had shared their findings with other civilizations through quantum communications. Within centuries, every advanced race in the galaxy had received the warning. Then, one by one, they had all vanished. Marcus connected his portable computer to the data cores and began cross-referencing them, information with discoveries from other worlds. The pattern became clearer with each new piece of evidence. The Asaki found energy readings from Earth that suggested massive artificial structures beneath the planet's crust. He told Elena. The Nethran detected gravitational anomalies that followed mathematical patterns. The Helix Confederation's long-range sensors picked up signals from Earth that were older than their own civilization. Elena felt a chill run down her spine. What kind of signals? The records are fragmentary, but they describe transmissions that seem to respond to the presence of advanced civilizations in nearby star systems, as if Earth was actively monitoring galactic development. They worked through the night, piecing together information from dozens of extinct civilizations. Each one had discovered something different about Earth, but all had reached the same conclusion. The planet was not what it appeared to be. The Valdari records contained the most detailed observations. Their scientists had spent decades studying Earth from a safe distance, using advanced sensors that could penetrate the planet's atmosphere and scan its surface. What they found defied explanation. Geometric structures beneath the ocean floors, Marcus read from a technical report. Artificial patterns in the planet's magnetic field. Satellite networks that predate any known civilization. Energy signatures from the planet's core that suggest controlled fusion reactions on a planetary scale. Elena stared at the data displays, showing Earth's solar system. Are you saying that Earth is artificial? Not artificial, Marcus replied slowly. Modified. Whoever built those structures didn't create Earth from scratch. They took a natural planet and turned it into something else. A monitoring station, perhaps, or a research facility. The implications were staggering. If Earth had been modified by an advanced intelligence, what did that mean for humanity? Were humans aware of their planet's true nature, or were they simply the latest subjects in an experiment that had been running for millions of years? Elena accessed the final Valdari transmission, recorded just days before their civilization's mysterious end. The message was brief but chilling. We thought we were the apex predators of the galaxy. We were wrong. Earth was always watching, always waiting. The sleeper stirs, and we fear what it will do when it fully awakens. To whoever finds this message, stay away from the third planet. Earth only pretends to sleep. Marcus closed the data files and looked at Elena. We need to contact the Galactic Council immediately. This information changes everything we know about Earth and humanity's place in the galaxy. As they prepared to leave the chamber, Elena's communication device chimed with an urgent message from Earth Defense Command. Long-range sensors had detected unusual energy readings from Earth's deepest ocean trenches. The readings matched the descriptions in the Valdari records exactly. After millions of years, something was stirring on Earth. Dr. Marcus Reed stood in the main conference room of the Galactic Archaeological Council, watching as holographic displays showed archaeological sites from across the galaxy. Each red dot represented a dead world where the same warning about Earth had been found. The map was filling up fast. 47 confirmed sites in the past month, announced Dr. Kate Wong, the Council's senior researcher. The warnings span a period of 12,000 years. Every major extinct civilization in our records left the same message. Marcus studied the pattern. The distribution wasn't random. Every civilization that had achieved faster-than-light travel had eventually discovered something about Earth that made them afraid. Not just afraid, terrified enough to spend their final years warning others. Show me the timeline again, Marcus requested. The holographic display shifted to show a chronological sequence. The oldest warnings came from the Keth Empire, a civilization that had mastered space travel 15,000 years ago. Their warning was carved into a moon orbiting their dead homeworld. The third world of Sol watches all. We dare not approach. Then came the Asaki, who had left detailed star charts marking Earth's solar system with symbols meaning Forbidden Zone and the Sleeper's Domain. Their records described Earth as the eye that never closes. The Valdari warnings came later, but they included technical data that the older civilizations lacked. Their quantum scanners had detected massive artificial structures beneath Earth's surface, structures that generated energy signatures unlike anything in their databases. Dr. Reed called out James Park, a junior researcher. We just received new findings from the Proxima Centauri excavation team. You're going to want to see this. The display changed to show images from the dead colonies orbiting humanity's nearest stellar neighbor. The colonists there had been human settlers who had mysteriously vanished 3 years ago. But beneath their settlements, archaeologists had found much older ruins. The Helix Confederation built these structures 50,000 years ago, James explained. But look at what we found in their final communication array. The screen showed a large crystalline structure, clearly designed for long-range communications. Inside, the Helix Confederation had left their last message. Preserved in quantum storage matrices, Marcus activated the translation program and read the message aloud. Final transmission of the Helix Confederation Science Fleet. We attempted to establish contact with the third planet of the Sol system. Our approach was detected at the outer edge of their asteroid belt. Energy patterns from Earth suggest an intelligence far older than our own civilization. We withdraw immediately. Warning to all future explorers. Earth is not what it appears to be. The planet watches. The planet waits. We fear we have awakened something that should have remained sleeping. The room fell silent. Marcus felt the weight of the discovery settling over him like a cold blanket. The Helix Confederation had been one of the most advanced civilizations in galactic history. Their technology was still beyond human understanding in many areas. Yet something about Earth had made them flee in terror. There's more, James continued. The transmission includes sensor data from their approach to Earth's solar system. Look at these readings. The display showed technical specifications that made Marcus's hands shake. The Helix Confederation sensors had detected massive energy sources beneath Earth's oceans. Not just 1 or 2 hundreds of them, arranged in geometric patterns that covered the entire planet. The energy output readings are impossible, James explained. According to this data, Earth is generating more power than a Class G star. But the energy is contained, channeled through artificial networks that extend deep into the planet's core. Dr. Wong leaned forward. That can't be. Right. Human scientists would have detected energy sources of that magnitude. Not if they were shielded, Marcus replied slowly. The Helix technology was specifically designed to penetrate dimensional barriers and quantum shields. Human instruments wouldn't be able to detect energy sources that existed in folded spacetime. Marcus accessed his personal database and began cross-referencing the new information with discoveries from other sites. The pattern that emerged was both fascinating and terrifying. Every extinct civilization had attempted to contact Earth at some point in their development. The older races had sent long-range communications. The more advanced ones had sent exploration fleets. A few had even tried to establish colonies in Earth's solar system. None had succeeded. More importantly, every civilization that had made contact attempts had vanished within a few centuries. Dr. Reed, came a voice from the communication system. We have an urgent transmission from the Neptune Research Station. The display switched to show Dr. Lisa Hayes, the lead scientist at humanity's most distant research outpost. Her face was pale, and her hands were shaking. "Marcus, we've detected something impossible," Lisa said. "Long-range sensors are picking up energy signatures from Earth that match the descriptions in the archaeological records. But that's not the strangest part." "What do you mean?" Marcus asked. "The signatures aren't constant. They pulse in response to our deep space communications. Every time we send a transmission to other star systems, the energy readings from Earth spike. It's as if something is monitoring our communications and responding to them." Marcus felt his heart rate increase. "How long has this been happening?" We went back through our records. The energy spike started exactly 3 days after we began transmitting the archaeological findings to the Galactic Council. Whatever is on Earth, it knows we've discovered the warnings. The conference room erupted in worried conversations. Marcus called for silence and activated the secure communication system. "Dr. Hayes, I want you to run a complete scan of Earth's electromagnetic spectrum. Look for anything unusual. And stop all deep space transmissions immediately." "Already." "Done," Lisa replied. "The scan results are terrifying. We're detecting artificial gravity wells around Earth that follow mathematical patterns. The planet's magnetic field has shifted into geometric configurations that don't occur naturally. And Marcus ... we're picking up structures." "What kind of structures?" "Massive ones. Buried beneath the ocean floors, extending deep into the planet's crust. The energy readings suggest they've been active for millions of years. But the power output has increased dramatically in the past week." Marcus closed his eyes and tried to process the information. Everything the extinct civilizations had warned about was true. Earth was not a natural planet. It had been modified by an intelligence so advanced that it hidden its presence from humanity for their entire existence. "There's something else," Lisa continued. "We detected quantum tunneling effects near the outer planets. Something is moving through folded space around Earth's solar system. The movement pattern suggests surveillance networks that extend far beyond Pluto's orbit." The implications were staggering. If Earth was an artificial monitoring station, what did that make humanity? Were they aware participants in some cosmic experiment, or unwitting subjects being studied by forces beyond their comprehension? Marcus accessed the final piece of evidence that had arrived that morning. A deep space probe near the galactic core had detected massive energy transmissions coming from Earth's direction. The transmissions were directed toward specific star systems, the same systems where extinct civilizations had once thrived. "Whatever is on Earth," Marcus said quietly, "it's been watching the galaxy for millions of years. And now it knows that we know." Dr. Sarah Chun stared at the seismic readings on her computer screen in disbelief. For the past 3 days, monitoring stations around the world had been recording something that should have been impossible. The Earth's core was pulsing in perfect mathematical sequences. "This can't be right," she muttered, checking the data for the 5th time. The Yellowstone Seismic Laboratory had detected synchronized pulses coming from deep within the planet. But these weren't random earthquake tremors or volcanic activity. The pulses followed precise patterns that matched Fibonacci sequences and prime number calculations. Sarah called her colleague, Dr. Mike Davis, who was monitoring similar readings from the Pacific Ring of Fire stations. "Mike, are you seeing what I'm seeing? The mathematical pulses?" "Yeah, I've been tracking them for 72 hours now," Mike replied over the secure line. "Sarah, these patterns are coming from the planet's core. That's impossible with any known geological process." The readings showed that every major seismic station on Earth was detecting the same phenomenon. From the Arctic research stations to the monitoring equipment in Antarctica, the entire planet was resonating with artificial rhythms. "I've run the patterns through every geological database we have," Sarah explained. "There's no natural explanation for this. The core is behaving like a massive computer, generating signals that follow mathematical formulas." Meanwhile, 3 1,000 miles away, marine biologist Dr. Lisa Chun was documenting equally strange behavior in the world's oceans. Her research vessel, the Deep Explorer, was investigating unusual animal movements in the Pacific Ocean. "Captain Brooks, lower the hydrophones to maximum depth," Lisa instructed. "I want to record whatever is causing this behavior." For the past week, deep-sea creatures had been exhibiting coordinated movements across multiple ocean basins. Whales that normally migrated alone were gathering in massive groups. Deep-sea fish were swimming in precise formations that covered hundreds of miles. Even bottom-dwelling creatures were moving in synchronized patterns. The hydrophone recordings revealed something even stranger. Low-frequency sounds were coming from the ocean depths, sounds that followed the same mathematical sequences that the seismic stations were detecting from the Earth's core. "Dr. Chun," called out her research assistant, Tom Wilson. "You need to see this sonar reading." Lisa looked at the display and felt her heart skip a beat. The sonar was showing massive geometric shapes on the ocean floor, structures that extended deep beneath the seafloor. The shapes were clearly artificial, arranged in perfect patterns that covered thousands of square miles. "How deep do these structures go?" Lisa asked. "The sonar can't penetrate deep enough to find the bottom," Tom replied. "But the formations extend at least 50 miles down into the Earth's crust. And Dr. Chun, they're all generating the same pulse patterns that the whales are responding to." Lisa immediately contacted the Global Marine Research Network. Similar discoveries were being made in every major ocean. The Atlantic Ocean contained geometric structures beneath the Bermuda Triangle. The Indian Ocean showed artificial formations. Near the mid-ocean ridge, even the Arctic Ocean had geometric patterns beneath the ice sheets. "Whatever these structures are," Lisa reported to the research network, "they're connected. The pulse patterns are synchronized across all ocean basins. The marine life is responding to signals that humans can't hear." At the same time, satellite monitoring stations around the world were reporting their own impossible discoveries. Commander Atlas Brooks of the Earth Defense Force was reviewing reports from the global satellite network when his communications officer made a startling announcement. "Sir, we have a problem with the orbital monitoring system," Lieutenant Garcia reported. "Satellites that have been inactive for decades are suddenly coming online." Atlas pulled up the satellite tracking display. Dozens of objects that space agencies had classified as dead space debris were now transmitting active signals. The satellites weren't human technology, they were too old, and their designs were unlike anything in Earth space program records. "When did this activity begin?" Atlas asked. "Exactly 4 days ago, sir. The same time the seismic anomalies started." "But Commander, these satellites aren't just activating randomly. They're transmitting coordinated data streams toward specific points in space." The tracking system showed transmission beams leaving Earth's orbit and heading toward distant star systems. Atlas cross-referenced the target coordinates with galactic star charts. Every beam was directed toward star systems where extinct civilizations had once existed. "Sir," Garcia continued, "the transmission patterns match the mathematical sequences that the seismic stations are detecting. Whatever is controlling these satellites is connected to the anomalies happening on Earth's surface." President Morrison convened an emergency session of the Global Security Council the next morning. World leaders gathered in the secure bunker beneath Geneva as scientists presented their findings. "The evidence is clear," Dr. Sarah Chun explained to the assembled leaders. "The Earth itself is exhibiting signs of artificial intelligence. The core pulses, the ocean structures, and the satellite activations are all part of a coordinated system that has been dormant for an unknown period of time." President Morrison leaned forward. "Are you telling us that our planet is some kind of machine?" "Not exactly," replied Dr. Marcus Reed, who had returned from the archaeological sites. "Based on our findings from the extinct civilizations, Earth Appears to be a modified planet. Someone or something turned it into a monitoring station millions of years ago. The Brazilian president asked, "What triggered this awakening?" Dr. Reed displayed the timeline of recent events. The activity began exactly when we started broadcasting our archaeological discoveries to the Galactic Research Network. The artificial systems on Earth have been monitoring our communications and responding to them. Dr. Lisa Chun presented her marine research findings. The structures beneath our oceans have been influencing Earth's ecosystem for millions of years. They may have guided the evolution of life on this planet, including human development. The room fell silent as the implications sank in. Commander Atlas Brooks spoke first. If these systems have been dormant for millions of years, why are they activating now? Because humanity has reached a technological threshold, Dr. Reed explained. Every extinct civilization that left warnings about Earth had achieved faster-than-light communication and interstellar travel. We're approaching the same level of advancement. The Chinese premier asked, "What do the systems want?" Dr. Sarah Chun pulled up her latest seismic readings. The pulse patterns have been increasing in frequency and complexity. The mathematical sequences are becoming more sophisticated. It's as if something is ... Waking up, Dr. Lisa Chun added. The marine life is becoming more agitated. The coordination patterns are spreading to species that normally don't interact. The ocean structures are drawing more power from the Earth's core. President Morrison stood up slowly. How long do we have before whatever is controlling these systems fully awakens? Dr. Reed checked his calculations. Based on the rate of increased activity, we estimate between 72 and 96 hours. After that, we have no idea what will happen. The world leaders looked at each other with growing concern. Humanity had always believed they were alone on Earth, the dominant species on their home planet. Now they were discovering that Earth itself might not truly belong to them. Dr. Marcus Reed descended into the deepest part of the Mariana Trench in the submersible Discovery, his heart pounding as the depth gauge showed numbers that should have been impossible to reach. The emergency expedition had been organized in less than 24 hours after satellite scans revealed massive artificial structures beneath the ocean floor. Depth, 37,000 feet and still descending, reported Captain Jake Miller from the pilot's seat. Dr. Reed, we're going deeper than any human has ever gone. The external cameras showed walls of metal and crystal stretching into the darkness below. These weren't natural rock formations. The structures were clearly artificial, built with technology that made human engineering look primitive. The sonar readings are incredible, said Dr. Amy Foster, the expedition's marine geologist. These structures extend at least 200 miles in every direction. We're looking at a city that's larger than any human settlement. As they descended further, lights began to appear in the distance. Not the bioluminescence of deep-sea creatures, but geometric patterns of artificial illumination that pulsed in the same mathematical sequences the seismic stations had been detecting. The structures are active, Marcus observed. After millions of years, they're still operational. The submersible's lights illuminated massive geometric towers that rose from the ocean floor like crystal mountains. Each tower was covered in symbols and markings that hurt to look at directly. The patterns seemed to shift and change, as if the structures were alive. "Captain, take us to that large opening," Marcus instructed, pointing to what appeared to be an entrance carved into the side of the largest tower. As they approached, the opening began to glow with soft blue light. The water around them started to behave strangely, flowing in spirals and patterns that defied physics. The submersible was drawn forward by forces they couldn't understand. "We're inside," Captain Miller announced as they passed through the entrance. "But this is impossible. We should be crushed by water pressure at this depth." The submersible was now floating in a vast chamber filled with breathable atmosphere instead of water. Gravity was working normally, and the temperature was comfortable. For human survival. Advanced technology was keeping the ocean from flooding the space. Marcus and his team put on their environmental suits and stepped out of the submersible. The chamber was enormous, stretching beyond the reach of their lights. The walls were covered with screens and displays showing star charts, mathematical formulas, and images of planets from across the galaxy. "These are observation records," Dr. Foster said, examining the displays. "Look at this screen. It's showing the development of civilization on dozens of different worlds." Marcus approached a central console that was pulsing with the same blue light as the entrance. When he touched the surface, the entire chamber came alive with activity. Holographic displays appeared throughout the space, showing detailed information about galactic civilizations. "It's a database," Marcus whispered. "A record of every intelligent species in the galaxy." The displays showed the rise and fall of hundreds of civilizations. The Valdari, the Asaki, the Helix Confederation, every extinct race that had left warnings about Earth, was documented in incredible detail. Their technology, their culture, their final days, everything was recorded and cataloged. "Dr. Reed, look at this section," Dr. Foster called out. "It's showing Earth's history, but not the version we know." The holographic display revealed Earth's true timeline. 65 million years ago, an advanced intelligence had arrived in the solar system. They had found Earth during the age of dinosaurs and decided it would make the perfect observation post for monitoring galactic development. The extinction of the dinosaurs wasn't caused by an asteroid impact. It was a controlled elimination to clear the planet for modifications. The intelligence had reshaped Earth's continents, created the ocean basins, and installed massive monitoring networks throughout the planet's structure. They guided evolution, Marcus realized as he watched the displays. Every major step in the development of life on Earth was controlled and directed. The emergence of mammals, the evolution of primates, the development of human intelligence. All of it had been carefully managed by the ancient intelligence. Humanity wasn't a natural species. They were the latest project in an experiment that had been running for millions of years. "Look at these records," Dr. Foster said, her voice shaking. Every time a species on Earth became too advanced, too curious about their world, they were eliminated and evolution was guided in a different direction. The display showed dozens of previous intelligent species that had developed on Earth. Each one had reached a certain level of technology before being quietly removed. Homo sapiens were just the most recent attempt at creating the perfect monitoring species. Marcus found records that explained the system's purpose. Earth was a galactic observation station designed to watch and catalog the development of civilizations throughout the galaxy. The intelligence that built it was so advanced that they could monitor star systems from thousands of light years away. But the system had a darker purpose. When civilizations became too advanced, too curious, too likely to discover Earth's true nature, they were eliminated. The artificial networks beneath Earth's surface could generate enough power to destroy entire star systems. "The extinct civilizations," Marcus said slowly. "They weren't destroyed by war or natural disasters. Earth eliminated them when they became threats." The database showed the final moments of dozens of galactic civilizations. Each one had discovered Earth's artificial nature and tried to investigate. Their star systems had been destroyed by weapons that turned their own suns into supernovas. Dr. Foster found records of humanity's development. "According to this, we were supposed to remain a pre-technological species forever. We were meant to be permanent observers, reporting on galactic activities without ever developing space travel ourselves. But something had gone wrong with the plan. Humanity had advanced much faster than expected. The development of nuclear weapons, computers, and space travel had accelerated beyond the system's control parameters. The ancient intelligence," Marcus read from the central console, It's not just a computer system. It's alive. It's been sleeping for millions of years, letting automated systems manage the galaxy. But humanity's rapid advancement has triggered awakening protocols. The displays showed current galactic activity. Human radio signals and space missions had been detected by surviving remnants of extinct civilizations. Some had sent warning messages toward Earth. Others were preparing for war. Believing that humanity was part of Earth's monitoring system, we're caught in the middle, Dr. Foster realized. The galaxy thinks we're agents of Earth's intelligence. They don't know we're just as much prisoners as they were. Marcus accessed the final section of the database. It contained protocols for what the system called observer termination. When a monitoring species became too advanced, they were eliminated. And the planet was prepared for the next evolutionary experiment. The protocols had been activated 3 days ago, exactly when the seismic pulses had begun. Humanity had 72 hours before the elimination process would begin. The sleeping intelligence is waking up, Marcus said quietly. And when it fully awakens, it's going to realize that its latest experiment has failed. Then it will do what it's always done: eliminate the current species and start over. The first signs appeared at exactly midnight, Greenwich Mean Time. Gravity began to fluctuate in major cities around the world. In New York, cars floated 3 feet off the ground for several minutes before crashing back down. In Tokyo, entire buildings swayed as gravitational fields shifted without warning. In London, the Thames River flowed upward for nearly an hour. President Morrison stood in the emergency command center beneath Geneva, watching satellite feeds from around the globe. The Earth's magnetic field was reshaping itself into geometric patterns that could be seen from space. The aurora borealis appeared over every major city, painting the sky in colors that had never existed before. "Dr. Reed, what's your status?" Morrison asked into his communication device. Marcus Reed's voice crackled through from the deep ocean facility. "The ancient systems are fully activating, Mr. President. We're watching millions of years of dormant technology come online. The intelligence that built this place is waking up." The screens around the command center showed readings that defied comprehension. Energy output from Earth's core had increased by 3,000%. Artificial gravity wells were appearing around major population centers. The planet's rotation was slowing down as massive forces deep underground redirected Earth's momentum. "Commander Brooks, report from the satellite network," Morrison ordered. Atlas Brooks checked his displays with growing alarm. "Sir, every communication satellite on Earth is being taken over. Our military networks, civilian broadcasts, internet systems, everything is being redirected through unknown systems." As he spoke, every screen in the command center flickered and went dark. Then slowly symbols began to appear. Not human writing, but geometric patterns that seemed to move and shift as they watched. Dr. Sarah Chun, monitoring from the Yellowstone laboratory, felt the ground shake beneath her feet as massive structures began rising from the Earth's crust. Through her laboratory windows, she could see enormous crystal towers emerging from the ground, each one taller than any human building. "The towers are appearing everywhere," she reported. "Every major tectonic plate has at least 3 structures rising. They're generating electromagnetic fields that are interfering with all human technology." Similar reports came from around the world. In the Sahara Desert, geometric cities were rising from beneath the sand. In the Amazon rainforest, crystal spires were growing through the canopy. In Antarctica, structures that dwarfed mountains were breaking through the ice. Then the voice began. It started as a low humming that could be felt rather than heard. Every human on Earth experienced it simultaneously, a vibration that seemed to come from inside their own minds. Gradually, the humming became words, spoken in every human language at once. "We are the architects," the voice said through every communication device on Earth. We have watched the galaxy for 12 million years. We have guided the development of life on countless worlds. We have maintained order among the stars. Dr. Marcus Reed listened from the underwater facility as the ancient intelligence continued speaking. The holographic displays around him showed images of galactic civilizations spanning millions of years. This world was selected as our primary observation station, the voice explained. We modified its structure to serve as a monitoring platform for galactic development. We guided evolution to create species capable of serving as our observers. The voice paused, and the gravitational anomalies around Earth intensified. Space stations reported that their orbits were being altered by forces beyond their control. You were designed to be our final observers, the architects continued. Your species was engineered to monitor galactic activities while remaining confined to this world. But you have exceeded your design parameters. President Morrison tried to respond through the communication systems, but the architects had complete control. Human technology was now simply an extension of their ancient network. Previous observer species were terminated when they became too advanced, the voice said, matter-of-factly. The Valduri discovered our presence and were eliminated. The Asaki attempted to contact other worlds and were destroyed. The Helix Confederation tried to approach this system and faced extinction. Dr. Lisa Chun, monitoring from her research vessel, watched as the ocean around her began to glow. Massive structures were rising from the seafloor, breaking the surface. For the first time in millions of years, the geometry of the structures hurt to look at directly, as if they existed in more dimensions than human minds could process. However, the architects continued, your rapid advancement has created an unexpected situation. Other galactic remnants have detected your activities and are approaching the system. The displays in the command center showed long-range sensor readings. Fleets of ships from surviving civilizations were converging on Earth's solar system. The extinct civilizations hadn't been completely destroyed. Small groups had survived and spent millennia preparing for this moment. These survivors believe you are our willing agents, the architects explained. They seek to destroy this monitoring station and eliminate what they perceive as our collaboration with your species. Commander Brooks reported from the satellite. Network, sir, we're detecting massive fleets approaching from 17 different directions. Some of the ships are larger than our moon. They'll reach Earth's orbit within 48 hours. The architect's voice became colder. We face a choice. We can eliminate your species and reset this world's ecosystem, as we have done 47 times before. Or we can allow you to participate in the coming conflict. Dr. Reed, still in the underwater facility, accessed the ancient database. The records showed the previous 47 attempts at creating observer species on Earth. Each one had been terminated when they became too advanced. Humanity was just the latest experiment. Your species possesses qualities we did not engineer, the architects admitted. Creativity, adaptability, and an unusual capacity for rapid technological development. These traits make you unpredictable, but potentially valuable. The gravitational anomalies around Earth began to stabilize as the architects made their decision. The crystal towers that had risen from the ground started projecting energy shields around major population centers. We offer you a choice, the architects announced. Submit to termination and allow us to begin the next evolutionary cycle. Or join us in defending this monitoring station against the approaching fleets. President Morrison finally found a way to respond through the hijacked communication systems. What happens if we choose to fight? You will gain access to technologies beyond your current understanding, the architects replied. Your species will become true partners in maintaining galactic order. But you will also become permanent targets for every surviving civilization that seeks to end our monitoring program. Dr. Reed watched as the ancient database revealed the full scope of the galactic conflict. The architects had been playing a game of cosmic chess for millions of years, using entire civilizations as pieces. Now humanity was being offered the chance to join the game as players rather than pawns. "And if we refuse to fight?" Morrison asked. "Then you will be terminated within 6 hours, and we will prepare this world for the next observer species. The approaching fleets will find only empty ruins when they arrive." The choice was simple but terrible. Humanity could accept extinction and allow the cycle to continue, or they could join an ancient intelligence in a war that had been raging across the galaxy for millions of years. President Morrison looked around the command center at the faces of world leaders and scientists. They all understood the magnitude of the decision. Humanity's childhood was over. They were about to discover their true place in a galaxy far more dangerous and complex than they had ever imagined.